So why do you think people respond to it so emotionally? Okay. Right. Okay. All right. Thank you much. Appreciate it. All right. 833-212-1017 is the number. So I completely agree. We give too much credence to a word that shouldn't mean anything to you. But we get taken off of our game by being called emotional, being made emotional, by people saying and doing things to us that make us mad. And then if you don't agree with the person, then something's wrong with you, right? You should be out protesting and burning stuff down because somebody did. Like I get Black Lives Matter. I get protesting for the lives of innocent Black people. But when you burn your own neighborhood down, that makes no sense. When you go in somebody else's neighborhood and burn their neighborhood down, it doesn't make any sense. What am I saying? It makes no sense to burn anything down when you're mad. What are you doing? Somebody else commits a crime, so you commit it. It's not like you're defending yourself or your family. It's not. Derek on the Talking Text line said, white people say and do things that should be challenged, but Black people always find an excuse for them before they find one for themselves. So they get away with things that they should not. And you want to talk about it. And you want to talk about it thinking you can shame them. Oh, okay. People don't care. And why would you think that they would care? They scream and holler and walk and protest and then go right back to their neighborhood in the suburbs and think nothing of it. And you can't be mad. It's not like you can get upset at somebody. Can you be mad at somebody who wants to live in a good neighborhood and not live around violence and want their kids and family to grow up safe? But then the same people don't want the police in their neighborhood because they say there's mass incarceration. Doesn't make any sense. How do you complain about something that's going to actually make you safe? And you come up with every reason why people shouldn't be arrested who are criminals. Do people slip through the cracks? Absolutely. Do people get in trouble when they shouldn't? Absolutely. Do people make mistakes? Absolutely, and they should get a pass. I've watched people get passes. I've watched the ability for a police officer to use the letter and the spirit of the law to make sure people didn't get jammed up and their entire life destroyed and all that stuff because they could. Because they didn't break any laws, any rules, or any procedures. They simply used discretion. And so if people think that when police they want to take away police discretion, that puts you in a box. That gives a matrix. And every time you commit this crime, you get that, and that's it. You get in a room, traffic no longer becomes discretionary, and nobody gets off. Grandparents, kids, grandkids, aunts, Everybody gets a ticket. Mandatory. So when y'all talk about putting up these cameras, when you start talking about putting up these cameras and these cameras are going to save you, the only people that are going to get burned are the people that care, that may run a light or go into the intersection when it's yellow. And if your car is in the intersection when it turns red, you're getting a ticket. That's what the yellow light is for. And it's counting down 5, 4, 3, and you speed up. 2, 1, it turns yellow. Boom. And you're in the intersection, you get a ticket. You know what you're going to do? You're going to pay it. And other people aren't. And they're going to get away with it, and you're not. You're going to be right back in the same place where you're going to end up getting jammed up, and you're going to have too many tickets, and then you're going to get your license suspended and your car registration suspended, and then there's going to be a warrant for your arrest, and then you're going to get arrested. Why? Because you're trying to clean up your community when the people that are causing the crime end up not going to jail. Eight 833-212-1017 is the number. Be Bizzle, you're on the new 1017 The Truth. What's up? I'm good.
I mean, my thing was about what the previous caller had mentioned about, not really giving that word any power.
Right.
And I personally, I had the same situation. Basically, we're all going down up in like northern Fond du Lac, and we're all, rap.
Right. Right.
But it's just like where if you look like someone.
Right. You got to know which hill to die on. Mm-hmm. And so your understanding of it, is it based on the fact that your heritage is from East Africa? And so you were the only person that represented. Does it bother you to represent African Americans or Black people who are from America and not Africa? Right. Well, let me give you a better example. Can I give you a better example? My grandfather's from Benin, but yet I was born here. My grandmother's mixed. She looks white, but she went to a boarding school for high school in the 1920s, right? So how do you deal with being in mixed conversation when people are talking about people of African heritage and people from African heritage are talking about people that are African American? Like, how do you fix that? Okay.
And all they see is what my complexion is. They don't know the intricacies of my whole heart, right? All you can see is what this person puts on themselves and covers themselves with. You don't know how that person feels when they're laying in their bed. You don't know what the tears that they kind of cry. You don't know how salty that their heart may be, right?
Right.
It's much more, it's much more of a complex situation than just like, what would you do in this situation? I understand, but
Right. Oh, hang on. Let me correct you right quick. His name is Du Bois, not Dubois. He refuses to accept the French side of his family, so he changed the pronunciation of his last name to Du Bois. You're welcome, sir. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So before we go, I have a question for you. This is a personal question, right? And you can refuse to answer it if you like. And I don't know your age, so I don't know if you have the historical perspective. But why is it that there's a perception that people that are from Africa look down on African Americans?
around on this move around the United States is basically it's it's almost like what you sometimes what you say. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but there's an opportunity for you to work up in the situation that you are in, right? You say yourself, correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean you come from a single parent household. You come from a very very less than fortunate situation in life, but yet here you are on this radio show talking, right? And to me, granted, we face similar setbacks. We're right now we're in the process of trying to close out on a home, taking 7 months. We're trying to figure out all these other things for other relatives for both back here, around the United States and back at home. But I think the way to put it is there's a lot more infrastructure here compared to at least some families and some situations out in the rest of the world. And you know, if you understand geopolitics, then you would understand that comparatively, the United States just has a better infrastructure.
Which is why you came here. Which is why your family's here. Right. Right. All right. All right. Take care. 833.
Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
Truth Nation, we want to celebrate the survivors of breast cancer and highlight their stories of fighting and thriving through their diagnosis. To celebrate survivors for a limited time only, we're selling specialty 1017 The Truth Thrive Through shirts. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to purchase our limited edition Thrive Through shirts, supported by Obvious Shirts. All sale proceeds go to support the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin